Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Paper, Paging Through History. We probably won't feel anything special when we mention the word paper. I mean, take a look around you. Paper products are everywhere. The books and magazines we read, the tissue we use every day, paper cups, packaging of cigarettes, alcohols, snacks, and so on. Paper is very ordinary. However, can you imagine what our life would be like without paper? Even though we are now reducing our use of paper to protect the environment, no technology, no matter how advanced, can replace the feeling we have towards this object. We all know paper is not a natural product. Human beings went through a long history of exploration before it was invented. We tried writing with rocks, fur, bones, tapa, baked clay tablets, wax tablets. Afterwards, we then had papyrus, parchment, bamboo, silk, and so on. Back then, people worked hard to improve writing materials. How exactly did people record information back in paperless times? How was ancient Egyptians' papyrus different from Ceylon's paper? How did this complex papermaking technology of China travel around the world, despite all the geographical difficulties? How did Bisheng's movable type printing influence the transmission of information? Why would we say that the revolution of technology would not illuminate paper, but would rather make paper play a more important role? Today, we can find answers to all of these questions through our reading of Paper, Paging Through History. The author of this book, Mark Kurlansky, is a well-known American best-selling author, now living in New York. He used to be the foreign correspondent for major newspapers, such as the International Herald Tribune and Chicago Tribune. Besides the book we are going to talk about today, he has written several other works, like Salt, Cod, and the Basque History of the World. Cod won him the James Atwood Award for his excellent culinary writing. His perspective is one of a kind. He would often start with a certain object, and then tell the complex history behind it. Thus, he does not simply focus on paper in this book. He is showing us a grand cultural map that contains 1,000 years of history and knowledge of different fields. We will separate this bookie into 3 parts. Part 1, Why did people invent paper? Part 2, Papermaking and printing technologies give new life to paper. Part 3, The impact of paper on historical events. We know that all kinds of inventions come along with the progress of human civilization, but many people take it to be that the inventions are what change the progress of humankind's development. Take the example of paper. Many historians think that architecture, Renaissance, and Industrial Revolution would not have been possible without paper. However, this is a technical fallacy. Our various needs arise as society develops, and great inventions are invented to satisfy those needs. Kurlansky argues that the real peculiarity of humans, compared with other animals, is the urge to record everything, and leave it for our future generations. The history of humankind stretches approximately 3 million years back, but we did not know how to write until a few thousand years ago. This suggests that, throughout most of our history, we did not have any written words. So how did ancient people communicate? Well, as their brain, mouth, and tongue developed, they became capable of uttering complex sounds. Moreover, due to the need to cooperate during activities, such as hunting and building, people began to perform simple communications via language. Afterwards, people learned how to express themselves with paintings. They would depict certain objects with simple lines, and color them with mashed minerals and animals' fur. We can still see such frescoes in the caves at Lascaux in France painted in 15,000 BC. As society developed, more and more things needed to be recorded. People began to make all kinds of knots with strings to record different information, or attributed certain meanings to subjects like beans, sticks, agate stones, and so on, in order to record and transmit information. American paper historian Dart Hunter once wrote,